Hey Saints, to round up our series on Bartimaeus, we're going to go back to the beginning. So turn back with me to the book of Mark, chapter 10, and we're going to be reading from verse 46. And it reads, and it says, I'm reading from the Leadership Bible. It says, Then they came to Jericho as Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Remember that verse, that was 47. 48, many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus stopped and said, Call him. So they called the blind man. Cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, said Jesus, your faith has healed you. Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. If you've been following with us, we broke down many aspects of the story of blind Bartimaeus. But there's one which I find is the most key ingredient in all of this story that usually is overlooked. Bartimaeus called out to Jesus. Jesus heard him, told him to come close. He acknowledged Jesus of who he was, and then he was given his sight. Now, the thing that I find so mind-blowing, when you read this story, Bartimaeus did not ever meet Jesus. I want that to sit in for a second. Bartimaeus did not ever previously meet Jesus. Bartimaeus' understanding and knowledge of Jesus, being a blind beggar that didn't move location, was based on the hearings of people talking about what Jesus did or was doing as they would walk by. Sometimes he got maybe a snippet of the story. Sometimes he got just a little piece. And with all that information over time that he pieced together, he painted a picture of who Jesus is, and he knew what Jesus was able to do for him. So that when he heard that Jesus was passing by, we go back to that verse 47, when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout. Now the thing is, we have a upper hand on Bartimaeus. We get to learn about Jesus on a daily basis. We get to commune with Jesus on a regular basis. And we sometimes still act as though we don't know who he is. This story is just an example of the little faith that it takes, that when you hear of a man and you know the things that he can do, when your faith is just put in that small little faith is just put in that, you can receive sight like Bartimaeus. Just imagine for a moment, saints, just imagine what is God or Jesus able to do for you in your life. Knowing him more than Bartimaeus knew him, or learning about him more than Bartimaeus knew about him. Bartimaeus based this faith only on those little hearings of. What I urge you today is to get to know Jesus today. Start with this story and then read a little further in the Bible and let his word open up his character to you. I hope that you're blessed by this message. Amen.